naalala ko nung question and answers nung meeting de Avance when they asked me gaano kung kagusto maging chair. I actually answered 7 out of 10. Yung mga kalabang ko answered like 11 over 10. Nagtaka sila bakit. Sabi ko, I just want really to be honest na kahit ano mangyari sa elections na to, I just want to continue to serve in any way possible.
Welcome everyone to the Meaning of Life podcast. With me here today is Nike Madrid. So hi Nike, can you tell us a bit about who you are and what you do, man?
Okay, I'm Nicole Bien Madrid. You can call me Nike. That's actually my nickname. Bakit Nike? Di ko rin alam sa mother ko. Pero it's not from the brand. It's like I remember Nike is an angel in the Roman mythology. So yun. I'm currently on my 6th year. Technically ID 114, Political Science and Accountancy in De La Salle University. I'm on my last term actually. So yan. So I'm also the chairperson of the Council of Student Organizations. And so far yun ang background ko.
So bakit Nicole? I think it's a very unusual male name. So may ano yung backstory dun?
Actually, because yung mom ko kasi gusto niya talaga ng girl. Girl. So parang nakalimutan ko na yung unang gustong name ng mom ko eh. I don't know if it's Nicole Stephanie or Nicole Jean or Nicole Jean, something like that. Then unang ultrasound ng mom ko, it's a guy.
Ikaw?
So parang medyo na-disappoint yung mom ko. She doesn't want to drop the name Nicole. Kaya ang pinalitan nila niya yung second name. So yung Bien. Bien is actually in Spanish, diba? Muy bien. It's good. And it also came from my grandmother's name, Benilda. Minix up lang niya. So Nicole, yun nga, medyo in-expect ng mom ko na magiging girl ako, pero hindi. So yun.
So Nicole ka na talaga ever since. Tapos naging Nike na lang after.
Actually, bata pa lang ako, Nike na ang ginagamit ko na as far as I remember. It's actually like kung merong legal nickname, I think that's my legal nickname.
Nike na. Yun na yung personality. As in, hindi nga kita, to be perfectly honest, hindi kita nakilala kasi yung name mo, of course yung name mo sa Facebook, diba? Nicole.
Yes.
Madrid. Hindi kita nakilala nung nagchat-chat ka, first pa lang. Kasi people were telling me about Nike, ganun. Siyempre sabi sa akin ni Yana na yung successor ni Jasha, si Nike. So, sino tong Nicole na parating nag-update sa... Ikaw pala yun. When I clicked on the picture, sabi ko, okay, siya yun.
Actually, there's a story bakit Nicole yung gamit ko sa Facebook. Kasi nga, Nike is a trademark. Yeah. So, pag nilagay ko lang Nike, fina-flag siya ng Facebook. Tinry ko rin yung, fina-flag siya. Dati, I don't know now, kasi di ko pa nasusubukan ulit eh. Nike, tapos sinubukan ko Nikee. Fina-flag pa rin siya. Hala? So parang, sige, real name ko na lang gagamitin ko. I don't know now. Try ko testing pero, pero yun nga, alam ko na pa-flag pa rin siya.
May ganun pala. Anyway, kamusta naman, you mentioned a while ago being the CSO chairperson. To those who may not know, the CSO chairperson is the head of yung Council of Student Organizations, which handles, ngayon, ilan na yung orgs?
We are actually 48.
48. Nung nag-office ka sa CSO, ilan yung orgs?
Nag-fluctuate siya. Nag-start ako parang 43, 42. Nung associate days or AVC days ko, 42. Tapos, naging 44. Then, nung nag-share ako, bilang, 48.
Biglang boom, 48 plus 4. Biglang nag-plus 4. Recently lang nag-plus 4, no?
Recently lang.
Gusto ko tanong sa'yo, as a person who is definitely, kasi ako, as a president, may mga co-presidents ako. But there's not really in your position, wala kang co-chairperson. Siguro yung counterpart mo si Lance, di ba? Yung USG side. So, pero kamusta naman like handling, ikaw, how do you do it? How do you handle your responsibilities? Since sobrang laki niya.
Actually, siguro, just a background, I came from the operations divisions of CSO. Given the operation nature, it's procedural. Kumbaga, sa mga listeners mo na familiar with the CSO process, when you say pre-acts, alam mo na, hanapin mo kung ano yung sa pre-acts or post-acts or finance. Nung naging chair ako, medyo nahirapan ako mag-adjust kasi hindi siya procedural eh. You really need to take into account decisions. You really need to modify, you need to adjust kung ano yung pangangailangan ng orgs, ng admin, or even your own officers as well. So, parang naging, kailangan kong mag-adapt biglang maging HR, maging taga-evaluate, maging taga-oversee ng mga bagay-bagay. And also, natutunan ko sa operations, siguro, one big thing is lobbying of certain processes na kung kailangan ko mausap ng admin. Siguro, that's an advantage coming from an operations perspective. Pero, of course, kailangan ko matutong mag-manage ng people. Not only yung people under ko, syempre yung mga, as in general, sobrang big adjustment. I mean, nagka-experience naman ako, naglalag ako, sorry.
Okay lang, you're not lagging naman sa akin.
Okay, sige. Nagkaroon naman ako experience in various departments since from my experiences from other organizations. Then yun na, kailangan ko siyang pagsama-samahin eh. Then plus pa yung responsibilities ko to the organizations as well. And syempre yung responsibilities ko to the admin. So yun.
Yeah. Paano yun? Yung learning curve sa operations, diba? You mentioned you came from operations.
Yes.
It's a lot. I mean, I've been with an organization. I've been with BMS for 4 years. GO ako 1 year, officer ako 3 years. Counting this one. Tapos, hindi ko pa rin naman ako kasi never ako napuntang operations. So, looking at it from the outside, sobrang daunting niya. Ang raming paperwork, ang raming kailangan kabisadong processes, ganun. Para ma-push through isang activity, isang ganun. So, how did you handle yung parang learning curve niya? Did you learn on the fly?
Actually, I learned along working. Kasi, paano ba nangyari? Siguro para magkaroon na lang din sila ng background. Nawala ako ng 1 year sa CSO after my associate days. Associate year. So, nawala ako ng 1 year. So, pagbalik ko bilang AVC Finance under ni Marge Vasquez, I don't know if kilala nyo, sobrang nag-adjust ako kasi ang daming bagong finance process. As in, nung una, naging lang ako, naging taga-log lang ng documents, gano'n, naging taga-file, naging taga-ayos. So, yung learning curve talaga, matutunan mo siya along the way eh. So, parang sa unang audit mo, parang, ito yung mga hahanapin mo, ito yung mga gagawin mo. Parang, okay, sige. Matututunan ko na siyang hanapin. Hanggang sa, siguro after 1 term, parang in just a glimpse, alam ko na kung ano mali dun sa document. Pero, it's really a struggle. Talagang nag-effort ako to really know yung mga contents ng mga bagay-bagay. Until now, like, syempre nagkakaroon ng changes. Inaaral ko rin naman siya. Hindi lang of course finance kasi dahil finance ako nanggaling. Inaaral ko rin sa iba-ibang operations part ng CSO. And nung una, like hirap ako, like pag may magtatanong sa akin, ano po kailangan nung ganitong activity for pre-acts? Nag-check pa ako sa secretary's manual kung ano yung mga kailangan. Then until sa mga nakabisado ko na siya na madali nang sagutin. Talagang, it really takes effort to really learn sa operations. Kasi hindi siya yung bagay na parang kailangan mong magpiga ng creative juices. Kasi, alam ko yan yung struggle when it comes to being creatives and of course, creating projects and events. Yung sa operations, talagang effort siya to really know what to look, to really know what to correct. Parang ganun.
Yeah. Ano naman yung yung journey mo towards being like a CSO chairperson? Kasi I can say for sure, not everyone wants to. I mean, it's a daunting task kasi. Being placed in that position. So not everyone, is cut out to have that kind of responsibility on their shoulders. Not everyone wants to have that kind of responsibility on your shoulders. So what was going through your mind, like being an applicant first and foremost muna, like sa unang-una nung naging EVC ka for Fin, tapos nung nag-apply ka for chairperson afterwards, what was the journey like, or what was going through your head?
Actually, sige, I'll start muna nung nag-apply ako as EVC Finance. Nung nag-apply ako as EVC Finance, actually, parang, hindi naman half-hearted. Like, I really want. Pero may iniintay ako isang tao. Di ko napapangalanan. May iniintay ako isang tao. Kung tatakbo siya, I'll withdraw my application. I just really want to be part of that person's team. And of course, I want to continue to serve. Then, nung hindi siya nag-apply, hindi ko na withdraw yung application ko. Then, I pursued it. Then, nung elections, syempre, daunting yung elections. Nakita mo na paano yung elections natin.
Yeah.
Then, after nung nanalo ko, sobrang saya. Then, start na ng work. So, nung turnover namin ni Marge, parang, ito yung mga tinurnover niya sa akin. Tapos nasa isip ko na, ano yung mga kailangan kong baguhin? Ano yung mga kailangan kong i-adjust? Siyempre. Then, start na ng work. So, continue na yun. Then, 3 terms next, yun na. Filing na ulit. Filing season na. Actually, yung application nung EB, if I remember, it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks ba? 2 weeks. Yung first week, medyo decidido ako hindi ako tatakbo. Like, nasa isip ko, okay, it's not, parang gusto ko namang mag-focus on my self-development kasi nga, parang either gusto kong mag-internship, gusto kong mag-ibang racket, o kasi, and siguro half of me takot ako sa responsibility of being chair. Then, siguro the week after that, siguro after consulting with some people, napag-isipan ko, I think it's worth a shot na I think I can handle the liabilities of kung ano man mangyari na maging chair ako. I can also handle the pain of losing the elections. Kumbaga, kahit anong mangyari, manalo matalo, it's still okay for me. Medyo doon ko nabuo yung path ko na kahit anong mangyari, I still want to continue to serve the community as well. Naalala ko nung question and answers nung meeting de Avance when they asked me gaano kong kagusto maging chair. I actually answered 7 out of 10. Yung mga kalabang ko answered like 11 over 10. Nagtaka sila bakit. Sabi ko, I just want really to be honest na kahit anong mangyari sa elections na to, I just want to continue to serve in any way possible. I run as a chair, kasi sa tingin ko, this will be a good avenue for me to continue to serve. And also to help others grow, to help or the officers of CSO grow, and of course the organizations as well. So, ayun, sa kabutihang palad na nanalo naman, and of course I tried my best to implement all of the plans I presented. Of course, there's still part of me na parang alam kong nagkulang ako. And gusto ko syempre, tawag doon, i-patch na parang gusto ko pa rin ituloy. Pero of course, cost benefit kung magiging helpful ba siya or hindi. Pero sadly, given the current pandemic situation, ang daming na shelf na plans. I mean, alam mo yan, ang dami ko pine-present sa council body meetings na gusto kong mangyari for us. That's for the council body only. I still have plans for CSO in general. And of course, part din ng integration ng operations. Ang daming na shelf na plan. So yun, of course, ayoko namang i-push kasi I know my officers, the CSO officers are also struggling with the pandemic. And personally, I'm also struggling with the pandemic as well. So maybe that's the time for me to shelf it, some of the plans, and you know, um make new plans to adapt to the pandemic na din naman. So yun. Yun yung naging turning point ko nung the weekend before the deadline, na sa isip ko talaga kahit ano mangyari gusto kong mag-serve. Yeah.
Paano mo nakuha yung trust ng council body at that time? Because running for a CSO EB position, of course, you need to have yung trust, yung votes ng council body, which composes of yung CSO EB themselves, and yung president of the 40 plus organizations. How were you able to, in your opinion, I guess, like how were you able to get their trust or to have their confidence na ikaw yung piliin nila to lead the council of student organizations?
Actually, hindi ko kasi of course di naman ako naging part ng deliberation part ng elections. Pero for me, I think one thing na ginawa ko nung meeting the vacancy is being honest. Like walang halong bola. Ito gusto kong mangyari. Tapos tinanong nila ako anong gusto ko for myself. Like nung tinanong nila ako, paano pag natalo ka, ano gagawin mo? Naging honest ako. Maybe I won't stay sa CSO. Maybe I'll look for other opportunities na I can serve. Not necessarily high position, but volunteering in NGOs, etc. Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, tinanong ko kung gaano kong gusto maging chair. I remember 7 or 8 out of 10. Ano yung 2 points na yun? Sabi ko, kahit manalo or matalo, I really want just to continue to serve the community. And I know CSO is an avenue, pero I know there are also other avenues for me as well. So talagang naging hindi naman brutally honest. Naging honest lang din ako sa kanila when they ask questions. So I think that's one isang bagay na talagang makakatulong for any leadership position naman, na kung ano man ang gusto nyong gawin is be honest to yourself first. Kasi I sinasabi ko na when some people ask you, you have your answer to yourself. You have an honest answer to yourself muna bago mo sabihin sa kanila. Nasa sayo na yun kung sasabihin mo yung sinagot mo sa sarili mo or medyo bobola-bolahin mo. Ngayon ganun, diba? So, yun yung tip ko na be honest to yourself and also be honest to others. So, I mean, redundant, pero honesty is the best policy.
Yeah. Yun na ang motto ng lahat ng classroom dati sa
So, pati sa yearbook namin nung high school.
Honesty is the best policy. Kapag online quizzes. Honesty is the best policy. Pero grabe. Yeah. It's a daunting task yan. Like what you said, diba? Getting the trust. Putting yourself out there. First and foremost, sa mga different student leaders, syempre lahat sila may sariling outlook, experiences. So, tapos ikaw, you're just gonna come in there and as yourself, what you said. And then putting yourself out there in front of them, your plans, your platforms. Na pressure ka ba nun? Or na ano ka ba? Nangarag ka ba when you were like presenting? Or no naman, parang you were just being you. Kasi when I look at you, yung perception ko sa'yo, parang rarely ka ever na-pressure. Parati kang chill. So, na-pressure ka ba nung time na yun?
Actually, nung tumakbo akong EVCF, pressured ako noon. Like, talagang nagsustutter ako nung nag-present ako. Pero tumakbo akong chill. As far as I remember, naging chill ako noon. Like, ako pa yung nagmo-motivate sa running mates ko na parang, tara, chill muna tayo, nood muna tayo. Like, I remember, nung sobrang tagal ng deliberations, nag-Netflix lang kami. Ako yung nagpasimunong mag-Netflix sa holding room namin. But I remember presenting it like chill. Like, this is my PowerPoint, this is my presentation. May mga points and I explain it as much as possible. Then, okay, move on next. Then, answering questions. Hindi naman ako na-pressure masyado na parang naging honest lang ako kumbaga po, like just a sample question na parang how will you deal with an organization having conflict with another organization? Kasi sabihin ko, I just want them to solve it first internally. Since as much as possible we don't want to interfere, but of course when it comes out of hand, we will interfere and try to solve it as professionally as possible. Parang talagang salita lang ako ng salita ng parang walang pressure. Of course, maybe sometimes faking it, pero as far as I remember, hindi ako masyado nakaramdam ng pressure. No?
And one thing then, under your leadership, of course, as CSO, I think you can agree with me that the actions or yung ginagawa ng organization, it reflects also on yung outlook and how the head of the organization is or leads. This year, CSO is very much involved sa mga political and social issues that we have here nationally, first and foremost. So, what was going through your mind when, kunyari yun, passing the unity statements, making the publicity materials for those things? Sobrang naiinis na ba talaga kayo nun that time? Like, sobrang kailangan na natin mag-act. What was going through your mind?
Okay. Siguro, one thing na, I'll just go back. Kasi, in a political science perspective, medyo institutionalist ako. Maybe a political science majors will know that. So, before I run being as a chairperson, I actually read the constitution of CSO. So, like nakita ko, may ganito palang powers tayo, may ganitong powers pala ang council body, etc. Then, I remember the 44th passing a unity statement against, I don't remember, sexual harassment, I think. I remember just once lang yan. Para sabi ko, I really want to push more kasi being a student organization, we are primarily affected by different political issues naman din.
Yeah.
And I won't give credit to myself for it. I really want to give credit to the CSO PNP and CSO externals for really pushing a lot of things to this. Like sinuwerte ako na aligned yung plano namin. Aligned yung gusto naming mangyari. Then, ginagabayan lang namin sila. Then, sila madalas gumagawa ng trabaho. Then, I remember some CSO PNP consulting pa with me. Is this politically correct to post this? Kasi meron kaming mga pinopost na parang Ninoy Aquino Day, ganun.
Yeah.
So, parang, they just want, I don't know if they just want to throw shade or they just want to throw facts. Sabi ko, as much as possible, throw information. Throw kasi when you give facts, it can be read that pwede mo siyang basahin at a different angle. Through information, syempre, para mas malaman nila yung context. Parang ganun. So, I'm super thankful with the CSO externals, especially to CSO PNP, na aligned yung naging vision namin to it. And sila yung talaga naging instrument to push the my plans nung nagpresent. Naging plan ko siya nung tumakbo ako as chairperson. Then, sobrang push lang na hanggang sa nakabuo na rin ng statements together with the organizations. So, and of course, alam mo, nagkaroon tayo ng some issues on how we develop the statements. Pero, I'm really thankful na sobrang ma-input din ng council body with regards of several issues then. So, parang, they just want to I remember some presidents giving the idea na, baby, pwede natin lagyan ng ganitong angle yung statement or something like that. So, yun. I'm super thankful. Naging siya eh.
Isa ata ako dun eh.
Syempre. So, yun. Naging helpful na aligned yung vision ko with the CSO PNP and CSO externals. And naging active din sa participation ng council body. Syempre ayoko na kami yung gagawa tas approve lang kayo. I really want na maging collaborative siya. Syempre part siya ng naging core value ko nung tumakbo ko. Na syempre we can do this on our own din ipapa-approve lang namin. Pero I don't want that. I want na tara, pagtulungan natin ano ba sa tingin yung dapat ilagay at dapat hindi ilagay. So yan.
Yeah. Ano opinion mo sa nangyayari ngayon with like our handling of yung COVID-19 crisis natin dito sa Philippines? What's your opinion on that? Like, what do you think? Are you doing good? Are you doing terrible?
Siguro ito sa mga makikinig sa Spotify, hindi nakita yung mukha ko. Pero sa makakita sa video ko, nakita niyo yung mukha ko. One thing, this is like a joke. I don't know if it's a joke. I hope it's not a joke. Pero personally, joke ko siya. I disagree na sa mga nagsasabing walang plano ang gobyerno. Meron silang isang plano. Alam mo ano yung plano nila?
Ano?
To wait for the vaccine. Yun lang yung plano nila. If you notice na para sobrang band-aid policies lahat ng ini-implement nila, sobrang hindi I remember having, kasi nasa bagit ko kanina ang mga political science major. Also a disclaimer, hindi ibig sabihin political science puro law subjects yung tinitake namin nung majors ko. So yan. So we have a subject in our majors, policy design and analysis. And medyo madugo siya. Of course, before you do a policy, first you need to research. Ano ba ang mga existing policies? Not only locally, but also internationally. Let's say, let's use the example of death penalty. Ano ba ang naging effect sa ibang bansa ng death penalty? Ano ba yung naging primary goal ng death penalty? Na-achieve ba yung goal na yon? Next is consultation. Of course, try to get the various sectors consultation kung ano tingin nila sa concept. Draft a policy, then consult again, then pag redraft, let's redraft tapos syempre idadaan na yan sa Congress, etc. It's a very long process. I know given the situation, syempre hindi mo na kayang gawin yung mga bagay-bagay na yan. Pero at the very least, research and consult is really important, especially in the executive executive branch of the government. Syempre, for example, wearing face mask. Syempre, when you research it, WHO recommends it na parang, of course, to try to eliminate. So, meron ka ng research. Consultation. Sino ba ang hindi afford bumili ng face masks? Sino ba ang medyo nawala sila dun sa consultation part na parang, sige, let's mandate wearing of face masks. Una, afford ba ng tao? Parang, pangalawa, may primary health concerns ba sa doctors, etc. Pangatlo, may supply ba ng face mask sa Pilipinas? This is just an example. I'm not questioning the implementation of face mask. Pero just an example lang naman na when it comes. Siguro best example ko na siguro is the motorcycle barrier. I don't know if you remember
yung may parang plastic na rectangle sa likod.
Yes. Yeah. So, una, feeling ko hindi dumaan ang research yun And pangalawa, hindi rin dumaan ng consultation. I remember seeing a post of the civil engineering group of professionals na tama ba civil engineering or mechanical engineering group of professionals discouraging the use of it kasi nakakasira ng aerodynamics. I don't know the engineering or science of it. But of course, when you consult a policy to the professionals, it's reliable. 'Di ba? Doon nawala yung research and consultation. Mahalaga yung dalawang 'yon. And on how they implement things here currently by the government is really sad and sobrang band-aid. So di ko alam malulungkot ako or magagalit ako.
So paano na? Ano nang mangyayari ngayon? Kasi 'di ba you said yung may plano sila. Only plan nila is to wait for the vaccine. Pero let's say na create na yung vaccine, na mass produce na siya, kailangan pa siya unang-una i-transport dito. Tapos all the processes that involves yung legality of actually distributing it. Tapos actually distributing it to the people. So ang rami pa, let's say ma-finalize ang isang vaccine ng di ba optimistically, mga range nila is January, February 21.
Actually, may nabasa akong article, ang earliest ata is October. I'm not sure.
October 2020.
Yes. Pero I'm not sure. Hindi ko na maalala yung nabasa ko.
Pero still, di ba, mag-ano pa sila, yung distribution pa, and making sure everyone has yung, or at least a lot of people have been vaccinated. It's going to take a lot of effort in the government level.
When they can just replicate the process on how they distribute the polio, typical polio vaccines. Pero syempre, this is times a lot. Kasi normally polio vaccines and other vaccines are given to children.
Yeah.
And siguro, just a rough estimate, that's only 5 to 10% of our population. The COVID vaccine should be given to the population.
Everyone.
To everyone. So, they just need to replicate and multiply. I think the distribution part, hindi naman masyadong magiging problem siya. Ang naiisip ko is the supply part. I think, I'm not sure, wait lang. Sorry.
Baka yan na yan.
Hindi ako sure.
Joke lang.
Ako po, Lord. Joke lang. Tawag dito. Nawala ako sa thought process ko.
I-supply.
Ayun. Sa supply. Yung sa supply, diba? Gaano tayong ka-sure na ang unang developer ng vaccine can provide a 100 million supply of vaccine in just pack. Diba?
Yeah.
Like, it will take years, I think. So, if isa lang. Of course, I think there are a lot of pharmaceutical companies racing to the vaccine and partially also manufacturing it na. Pero of course, the first issue is supply. And second, kung may supply na, syempre partial delivery, alamang magkasya yung 100 milyong vaccine sa isang barko.
Yeah.
Yun yung the next step is to the government na who will be prioritized.
Syempre yung mga government officials yan.
So yun. It's actually good that the Bangko Sentral and DOF is investing money to ensure na makakabili ng vaccine for everyone. Pero given the economic situation currently, parang mas kikailanganin ata na i-realign yung budget na yun. So far, the latest statistics is we have 47 million unemployed ba? 14 million, I'm not sure.
14 or 40?
14.
14.
But that's still a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Ayun. So, I think the government should recheck their reprioritization of programs. It's a good thing na nag-iipon sila. Literally, they're saving money for the vaccine. Pero, I don't know if kakayanin pa ba ng ekonomiya and healthcare system na maintay yung vaccine na yun. So, yun. Sobrang...
So, is that what's happening right now? Kasi, diba, we're borrowing a lot of money and we've released a lot of money for yung budget for yung handling this COVID-19 pandemic. So, yun ba yung nangyayari ngayon? They're like holding it lang, tapos pag magka-vaccine, meron na tayong cache dito of ito na yung budget, tapos ika-cash in na lang nila yun.
I'm no economic expert, pero as far as I know, part of the borrowing, actually, yung borrowing kasi, part of it is first to cover deficit. Syempre, normally, pag nagbabudget kasi ang gobyerno, naka-look forward yan. Ito yung makakollect na namin sa income taxes, customs, etc. Dahil madaming nagsarang kumpanya, marami ring nawalan ng trabaho, ang daming nawalan taxes, potential taxes. So yun, first is to cover deficit. Next is, I think, saving for the vaccine. Third, to augment budget. I think partially na-provide sa DOH, sa DSWD, for SAP, Social Amelioration Program. Sa DOH, DPWH for constructing quarantine facilities as well. So, to augment. So, alam ko may iba pa siyang parts, pero mostly yon. Kaya marami ding borrowings. Yun nga lang, nagpapatong-patong siya. Given na hindi rin nakatulong na meron ding large borrowings ang government for the past years.
Yeah.
Dahil for the build program.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun. I'm not sure if nakapag-realign sila ng budget from that, pero nagpatong-patong siya. One thing siguro is one thing na pinagbasehan nila kung kaya pang umutang is the GDP last year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last year. I don't know what will be our GDP this year. Next is how much is the tax collections. Ang daming mawawala. Ang daming mawawala sa tax collection, sa tax revenues ng gobyerno.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya ang dami sila naghahabol, di ba?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yun. It's a really complicated problem. Pero, it really stems out on what the governments prioritize. So,
yeah. Pero yung global GDP is yun, like, on average, most nations talaga ngayon, they're experiencing an economic downturn. Like economic downturn is a light way to put it. Talagang recession. US alone, 'di ba? US alone is like they have the highest number of cases, highest number of deaths. Tapos maybe because they're the most honest. Yung numbers ng China, I don't believe them, frankly. Sobrang hindi ka paniwala yung mga numbers nila doon. Pero even the US is struggling in first world country na yun. There's other first world countries, diba? Like the European countries na we have here. So, paano ba kaya tayo? Tayo na hindi naman tayo ganun nabiyayaan.
Siguro, except sa US kasi I know that's another government dilemma. Pero if you notice on how the government of the first world country approach, especially in the Europe and in Japan actually and in Korea, most of their alignment goes to the healthcare system. Kasi I know medyo gasgas na siya pero talagang health is wealth. They prioritize budget sa healthcare. Kumbaga, they boost testing, they boost the ICUs and facilities to really makuha lahat at the expense of their economies. And tiranggap nila yung expense na yon. Right now, I know di ko alam kung may makakilala ka. I know some friends in the Europe, even in Canada, in Japan or Korea, that they're really almost back to normal. Even New Zealand is back to normal na. At
New
the
Zealand,
expense of like 3 to 4 months economy, I think 2 to 4 months economy downturn. They are now back on track. So really parang in-afford nila, parang tinaya nila, sige, hayaan na natin yung ekonomiya natin just for mas kailangan natin mag-focus talaga on our COVID response. And also helping the people. And nag-produce siya ng good harvest na now they're back, their economy is back, wala na silang kinakatakutan. Siguro the hospitality and tourism industry really took a hit for this year and maybe until the year end or until next year. Pero other than that sector, most of them are back on track na. So dun mo makikita on how they prioritize on the whole, how first world country prioritized the approach into the pandemic. They expect it. They let the economy go wild. Then nakabalik na sila. So,
parang short-term downfall for long-term gains. Yung definition of investment, di ba?
Yes. Actually, basic basic financial topic.
So actually wanted to ask you as well, as a political science major and an involved sabihin na natin student in social issues, ganun din. How would you, what's your outlook on yung mga nangyayari ngayon? So, sa nangyayari for example, with Rappler, ABS-CBN, and the anti-terror law that is not anymore just a bill. What's your, anong stands mo sa mga ganyan?
I'll just add something to be beware of. The better normal bill in the Congress is actually scary also. Sobrang
can you enlighten me on that?
Sa base sa paghuli kong pagbasa, not wearing mask can imprison you.
Okay.
Private gathering should be approved by government.
Okay.
Private. It means like kahit kayo lang nasa bahay. Yeah, nandun siya sa bill.
Kahit birthday, ganun.
Yeah. So, kunwari, di ba, marami celebrate ngayon ng kasal. Pero of course, with the compliance with the quarantine protocols. Pero, pati yun, kunwari, papakasal, wedding celebration, birthday celebration, it should be approved. And, pag hindi ka sumunod, you can be fined or imprisoned as well. Sobrang scary nung better pay. And it really, mas scary pa for companies kasi pwede rin ma-imprison yung mga top officials nila if hindi nakapag-comply with the policy set by the government. So, something to be beware of naman. I'll start first with Rappler. Okay. Meron akong ibang kakilala siguro na nag-work na sa Rappler. I really have like some reservations on how Rappler reports. One thing I really like sa Rappler is yung mga breaking news nila, like they just state facts, ganun, etc. as well. Pero I really have some issues on how they work. But syempre, they're still a news agency. I consider them a news agency, and depriving them of that is a basic violation of freedom of press. So yun. Kahit anong mangyari, I really disagree on how they report. Not totally disagree ba naman, pero I have some reservations. I will still stand on them, on their freedom of press, na they should report the facts. I remember before COVID, inaabuso din sila sa Malacanang, denying them access. So, sobrang lokohan yon. I'm sorry for the word, pero that's outright violation of freedom of press.
Before COVID, di ba, hinahunting na talaga si Maria Ressa.
Hinahunting na talaga pati si Maria Ressa.
Ilang beses na siya nag-bail, if I'm not mistaken. Before.
So yun, that's basically wait lang sa marami silang kaso yung I disagree on the decision of the tawag dito, yung libel case, the online libel case. It's really I disagree with the decision. Pero with the tax case, hindi ko pa siya napabasa actually. I don't know on how I will side with the tax case. Pero the cyber libel, that's for me BS. I'm sorry for the word BS. Talagang may threat on how reporters should report. Kasi cyber libel siya. So basically, pagkwari sabihin natin, reporter from GMA reports nagkamali siya. Hindi naman nagkamali. They reported on the involvement of semi-private person because yung guy doon is a business owner. He claims na he's a private person na vina-violate yung rights niya. Actually, technically he's not being a business owner. Hindi naman siya empleyado. Hindi siya employee. So technically business owner siya. So siya ang humaharap for the company. Technically he's a public figure na rin.
Yeah.
In
kung
the
public
business.
company, public figure siya.
Public. So yun, business owner. 'Di ba? Pag tinanong, sabihin natin Thanos Company. Kahit sabihin natin ganong kalaki or ganong kaliit yung kumpanya mo. Or when asked for representation for Thanos Company, you'll present yourself.
Ako yan.
So you're parang semi-public, semi-private figure ka na. And that's a threat na when, say, GMA reports you na, Tristan Tano of Tano's company is being alleged of bribery. You can sue.
Mhm.
You can sue GMA.
Mhm.
Parang ganun nangyayari. Parang ganun. Hindi ko masyadong nakita yung facts of the case, pero in a gist, parang ganun yung nangyari. And naging factor din na may inedit si Maria Ressa. So, yun. Medyo sobrang BS talaga siya for me. So, that's a threat, not only to Rappler, but also to other reporters as well. So, yun. Next is ABS-CBN. ABS-CBN shutdown. The unlaking effect, like, hindi kinonsider, nakalimutan ko yung English ng paghihigante? Revenge, parang
Vengeance.
Vengeance siya ng mga ka-DDS na congressmen na they want to get back to ABS-CBN. At the expense of what? How many employees? How many businesses? How much tax revenues? Both local and BIR. Siyempre, lumalang employees withholding tax, business tax, local tax. Kasi nagbabayad ang ABS-CBN ng franchise tax sa Quezon City government. At the expense of what? Para lang makamit nila yung paghihiganti nila, their revenge. So, sobrang nakakalungkot na yun yung prioritize ng ating mga congressmen. And sobrang, para sa akin, mali. They can personally file a case against the Lopezes. Diba? If they think na may violate talaga sila, or even Carlo Katigbak, kasi tingin nila may mali siyang ginawa, they can file personally to them. Pero if at that expense, sobrang mali. Sobrang nakakalungkot. Like, talagang, yun talaga yung perfect word ko dun mali siya.
Yeah. yung sa ABS kasi, how I saw it then, like seeing all everything that's come out. Of course, everything that's come out, we never really know, diba? Yung verification niya. Although, we can make our best assumptions. And talagang, yun nga yun nangibabaw sa akin. Even after so many repeated na, okay, you filed this case against us, that's proven to be false, or void, or wala. Tapos meron pa dadagdag yung isa pa, tapos ng isa pa, tapos ng isa pa. Diba, if I'm not mistaken, diba, paulit-ulit, una yung parang filing nila of something, tapos yung naging tax, tapos yung naging, basta ang rami, hanggat na natuloy na talaga na, okay.
Actually, kung interesado ka matuto ng ibang about other taxation, they actually discuss it in the congressional hearings. Parang yung abogado ng ABS-CBN nag-discuss ng income taxation sa congressmen. And they didn't know that. There's an issue, the Big Dipper. Just a context. Of course, domestic corporation, kunwari, Tano Corporation invests in Tristan Corporation. So, when Tristan Corporation issues dividends, yung dividends for Tano Corporation is not taxable. That's just a gist. Medyo komplikado siya, pero that's the gist na hindi taxable.
Gets ko naman yung gist mo.
Yung dividend na yan. So, ganun ang ginagawa ng ABS-CBN. Meron silang Big Dipper. Then, meron silang, I'm not sure if it's ABS-CBN Holdings or ABS-CBN Media Broadcast Corporation. So, I forgot. Ganon yung issue ng dividends. Then, kinwestiyon siya ng mga congressman. Bakit hindi nyo kayo nagbayad ng tax para sa dividendo na yan? Ang sagot ng abogado, yan po yung nasa batas Hindi siya taxable. Then parang, hindi ba kayo na tawag dito? Nakokonsensya? Sabi, parang, yan yung nasa batas, sinusunod naman namin. Hanggang sa pinaghalo-halo na nila yung natural, yung conscience, legal formality. So, parang, it's really malabo na talaga siya.
Malabo na.
Nagkalabuan na sila. So, yun. Das kini-question nila bakit daw nag-net loss ang ABS-CBN Corporation. Then, bakit ginagamit yung net loss na yun for the succeeding years na may net income? That's still allowed from the law sa NIRC na pwede mo i-carry over yung net loss mo. And they question it. Legal ba yan? Ethical ba yan? So, sobrang, ayun, pinaghalo-halo na talaga nila. It can be, for me, also citing one of my professors then this term is that they can question more on how they got the figures of the financial statements. Pero, na pinaghalo-halo nila, sobrang talagang mukhang pinulitika, mukhang may agenda, mukhang predetermined na yung desisyon. Palabas na lang yun.
Kasi mukha naman talagang may agenda, di ba? Meanwhile, habang nangyayari itong lahat na to, I mean, beyond yung revenge na parang galit nila sa ABS-CBN dahil more or less yung political stances ng broadcasting company mismo. But habang nangyayari to, a lot of underground Chinese companies running wild sa Philippines itself. Parang rini-reeve yung natin, not only our estate, yung land natin dito, but also our economy, so to say, kasi ang rami talaga I mean, it's not a joke, it's not a conspiracy theory, I think, because of of everything that's been happening so far. It's a fair, hindi ko alam like, I don't know with you, pero nung nag-umpisa kasi si Duterte, yung campaign niya, sobrang, di ba, sobrang energetic niya, sobrang palaban siya, lalo na sa China. Di ba siya mismo nagsasabi na, ako mismo yung pupunta sa tapos ako mismo yung magkakausap sa China. Pero yung nangyari ngayon, parang, nangyari? Na ba siya? Parang na-tame siya, parang aso.
Actually, nung tumakbo siya in 2016, I never saw him of being a candidate of China. Mas nakikita ko pa nga nun si Binay na mas candidate ng China kumpara sa kanya. Pero, yun nga, during the run of his administration, naging pro-China siya. Naging pro-China siya talaga. Nakakalungkot yan. I remember Pinoy's time. Just a disclaimer, I know Pinoy is not perfect. Pinoy has a lot of issues as well. Baka malibelan tayong dilawan dito Pero during Pinoy's time, we won the Hague International Decision for the Spratleys, for the protested islands. And sadly, hindi siya ginamit ng administration That's a really big ace in our card na kakampi natin yung international community. Regardless na kung hindi man siya i-recognize in China or what, the recognition of the international community is important as well. We can also use that against Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam claiming it also. Diba? So, yun. Then, das yung mga deals, sobrang sketchy. Yun yung best word ko. Sobrang sketchy ng mga naging deals ni Duterte with the government of China. Na yung sa build. Even, I don't know, the issue of Pogo is another issue as well. Ano pa ba? Sobrang daming sketch talaga. Currently, yung Philippine National Railways, PNR, medyo malapit kasi sa bahay namin siya dito. And dati,
same.
Dati, may nakikitang mga Chinese workers. So, parang, diba, we have our own labor. Instead of importing labor, we are actually exporting it. Diba? Our beloved OFWs. So, sobrang sketchy talaga. Like, ano ba laman nung deals na yun? And the palace is not actually releasing it Sobrang sketchy. Like, magkano ba ang interest? magkano ba talaga ang inutang, para saan ba.
Hindi ba dapat public knowledge yun?
Dapat public knowledge siya.
Yeah.
Dapat public knowledge siya. And actually,
pero hindi sila nag-release.
Hindi sila nag-release. Dapat nga, ratified yan ng House tsaka Senate eh.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun.
Pero wala.
Wala, alam ko wala. Kinestyon yan dati ng mga ibang senators ng ibang opposition senators. Kasi nga, normally, pwede nila i-check yan. Pero, di ko na alam ano nangyari. Di ko na rin nasundan actually. So, yun. Sobrang, it's a sketchy relationship of Philippines and China. Pero one thing I notice is, when it comes to Taiwan, it's a totally different issue. I remember, kailan ba yun? Before magkaroon ng issue sa COVID, na parang, when DFA labeled Taiwan as a threat due to COVID-19, they labeled Taiwan as part of China due to the threat of COVID-19. Nagalit ang Taiwan. And Philippines amended it. Di ba? So,
tapos nagalit yung China.
Tapos nagalit yung China.
Or
I don't remember if nagalit yung China. Pero di ba, like, that's against China's policies. Taiwan.
No one China policy.
Di ba? Na Taiwan is part of China.
Pero grabe yun, that's insane. I mean, everything that's happening in China right now, it's pretty insane.
Yes.
With Taiwan, with Hong Kong, with yung Islam groups nila na dinedetain nila for
Di ako masyadong informed about that. Pero I remember reading some issues regarding that. Yung sa may bandang Western China.
Mm-hmm.
That's an issue of China and India din and Nepal, I think.
Yeah. Well, everything that's happening now, the pandemic now, and you mentioned din kanina na it's your last term in DLSU. So ano yung plano mo after you graduate? What's your plan?
Actually, siyempre, first plan is to take the boards for CPA. Hopefully to pass also. And I want to give more time to that talaga. Kasi hopefully magkaroon na ng boards by May 2021.
Yeah.
So starting October to May, of course I want to focus on my study siguro and help sa bahay. Maybe start a small business here. I don't know. Sobrang kung ano yung mga pwede kong i-part-time during the review para lang maka-help din sa house. And of course earn money for myself then. Then after that, after siguro passing the boards, I really want to pursue further studies. Either law school, masters, I don't know, like sobrang wala pa akong path. Pero one thing na gusto ko is magturo. I want to teach. Maybe one thing na something to continue the passion of me to serve the community. Then kasi I really want kung hindi magturo, I want siguro to volunteer 1 year of my life to NGO or kung ano man. Pero sabi ko parang mas sustainable in the long run yung teaching Siguro part-time teaching. Not siguro kung given a chance sa DLSU, bakit hindi? Pero I also want to teach here in the province as well. So, yun.
Saan yan?
Sa Bulacan ako now. Okay. Yan. So, I also want to teach here in the province. Pero of course, while pursuing studies or working, one thing, gusto ko rin mag-work din naman. So, yun. Talagang yung sobrang near future lang nung goal, yung mga current goals ko. Pero, of course, pag nakarating na ako doon, I can set up my new horizon from there.
Teaching how? Teaching professor? Sa university?
Pwede rin. Teaching professor sa university or maybe senior high. Kung anong opportunity makarating sa akin. I really want to really give back then to the community. Kasi nasa isip ko, if I volunteer 1 year of my life to the NGO, after that, ano pa pwede kong gawin? Or yun na ba yun? Of course, ayoko namang yun na yun. Pero gusto ko, syempre, consistently in a long run, mapatuloy-tuloy ko siya.
Yeah. So, actually, we share that sentiment. Ako kasi gusto ko din I want somewhere down the line, like, to be a professor. After everything na though, Kasi after college, I plan to go to law school as well. Kung ikaw maglo-law school ka, see you there maybe kung saan ka man pumunta. And like just continue studies and then siguro somewhere down the line give back then, no? As ako personally I want to give back kunyari sa DLSU, like serve a professor in some subject. I'm not sure yet what or when.
Of course.
Pero down the line.
If given the opportunity to teach back naman to DLSU, why not, diba? Di ko tatanggihan yun. Ako, personally.
Ikaw maging ka na, as life director. Gusto mo yun.
Baka nakikinig dito si Sir Topher.
Ay, hello Sir Topher. Ayan na, ang successor mo in the future.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
Diba?
So, in encapsulating that, short-term, long-term plans, para sa'yo, what is the meaning of life? What do you do all this for?
Actually, syempre, that's the title of your podcast. And syempre, pinapakinggan ko rin yung mga first podcasts mo as well. Napapaisip ako, like, ano ba talaga yung meaning ng life?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really relative. Like, there's no definite answer. If you raise this question to philosophy majors and philosophy professors, it would be a ramble.
Yeah.
So for me, my answer to that is like the continuous chase of your what do you call that? Continuous chase for your purpose. Like, it's really step by step. I know once in your childhood you dream na to be a pilot, to be a teacher, to be a police, firefighter. I remember me as a child. I want to be a pilot. Then when I was in high school, I want to be a lawyer or a senator or something like that. One thing na natutunan ko is the continuous chase of your purpose in life. Like, I remember, diba, before, yun yung kikwento ko kanina, before I ran as chairperson, my goal is to retire. My goal is to focus on my self-development, to focus on, siguro, earning money also for myself. Then, I changed that purpose. It's like continuous chasing that different purpose in your life. Kung ano man, kahit short-term goal man lang yan, or short-term goal or long goal, yung purpose yung magdadrive sa'yo to continue to take the next step every day.
So ano yung purpose na china-chase mo ngayon, Nike?
Currently, I have I have two purposes. First is to have that title in my name. You know what title? I don't want to jinx that. And second is, of course, to continuously serve the community as well. Na that part of the community is my family. Of course, the community, what can I do, like volunteering, siguro helping yung mga neighbors, ganun. As simple as that, or can be as big as, handling CSO, etc. So yun. Ngayon yung two purpose ko. Of course, pwedeng madagdagan or sana mabawasan pag nakuha ko na yung title. Pero yun, that purpose, continuously chasing that purpose.
Feeling ko madadagdagan lang naman ng madadagdagan as time goes by. I feel like in nearing the end, in ending, Nike, in your years in your life, what's been the number one, or what's been the most important lesson that you've learned or you've garnered throughout your years?
Actually, siguro, I think I have a better answer for it. Pero, based on our discussion, it's like really being honest to yourself first. It's not actually faking it. It's being honest to yourself. Na, do you think you can do it? You have your answer to yourself na, alam mo yun minsan may opportunity sa harap mo na parang, iniisip mo, kaya ko to. Pero minsan nahihiya ka, or feeling mo na hindi mo kakayanin, pero alam mo sa isip mo, kaya mo. Be honest to yourself, then to others as well. It applies to relationships, to taking opportunities, to your family, and to your friends. Na, when you presented us an opportunity, a conflict, be honest na parang, okay, ito yung mangyayari, ito yung nasa isip ko, ito yung gagawin ko. Then, nasa sa'yo na kung i-deliver mo siya. I think the delivery part will depends on people. Pero, for me, being honest to yourself is really important. It's not, being honest to yourself, can build your morale, can motivate you to achieve it as well.
Yeah.
Kasi kung lagi mong iniisip na, kung lagi mo pa na hindi mo kaya, mahahawa yung utak mo eh. Mahahawa yung sense of doing things eh. Na parang, hindi ko talaga kaya. Pero pag sinabi mong kaya ko, kahit merong ibang part ng katawan mo na alam nilang hindi kaya, pag sinabi mong kaya mo, gagawin siya. So, yun. That's one lesson na important. Kasi, I remember during high school, I BS my way through out of it. Like, I remember, I came from a small high school actually.
Mm-hmm.
I ran actually like the student government president, and I remember telling them a lot of pambobola.
Ever since.
Yeah. I remember nambobola ako na nambobola sa sarili ko na gusto ko talagang manalo, ganun. Then nung natalo ako actually. Natalo ako. Sobrang sakit. Then finifake ko lang yung sarili ko. I remember taking an organization president position after that. Kasi, syempre, tumakbo na ako student government, in-offeran ako na isang organization if I want to be a president. Syempre, go. Pero sa sarili ko, ayoko. And sobrang nag-slack off ako holding that organization. Then, as in, hinahayaan ko lang yung officers ko. Like, wala na talaga. And, syempre, nung naging college ako, nag-iba talaga yung perspective ko, nag-iba yung mga bagay-bagay sa buhay. So, yun.
Yeah. Na-lose ako ng train of thought. May tatanungin ako sa'yo eh. Pero, there. Isn't it hard to be honest all the time, like, for you? Kasi, I feel like if it was easy to be honest all the time, everybody would do it. But, everyone is, so to say, diba, a liar to themselves or to others to some degree. How do you maintain being honest or that honesty that you say?
Yung, syempre, honesty to yourself. Nasa sa'yo na yan kung paano mo i-deliver sa ibang tao. Kung gusto mo silang i-BS, bolahin, o bigay yung truthful self to them. Siguro to maintain that, like, give a time before saying anything. Let's say a person came to your side na parang they need humihingi ng payo. Let's say a friend na broken-hearted, iniwan na siya nung jowa niya, na chinit na siya, ganun, etc. Of course, being honest to yourself first. Ano ba ang sasagot mo? Iwanan mo na talaga? I-chase mo pa rin? Ganun. Then, kung kuwari gusto mo lang siyang sorry for that. Gusto mo lang siyang lokohin. Sorry.
Sinalo pa eh.
So gusto mo siyang gusto mo siyang pagtripan, yun pala pinakatama ko. Sige, so chase mo siya. So parang nasa loob mo, parang gusto mo lang man-trip. So yun, being parang sobrang nawala na ako sa tote. Pero parang ganun na mahirap maging honest to yourself din naman. I know. Kasi maraming sense sa part ng isip mo na parang ang daming factors before deciding, before doing anything. But my really advice is take a time before doing that decision or before making a decision. So yun, like basically for example, selecting officers. Meron kang nasa isip mo, ito gusto ko. Pero natanong mo ba sa sarili mo na kung siya yung nakuha mo magiging beneficial ba to the organization? So magtatalo yung utak mo Kung hindi mo sila hayaang magtalo, meron ka ng decision kagad. Pero kung pinag-isipan mong maigi, magkakaroon ng debate. kung siya ba talaga o yung isa, may really advice is take a time. And then take some time pala before doing that or before answering a certain question to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, with that being said, thank you, Nike,
Thank you
for taking time today
thank
for
you then.
this podcast, and I would just want to extend my gratitude also to you, of course, since you took an hour, more than an hour
Actually. Hindi
of,
ko
of
napansin,
your
like,
day.
it's a normal conversation.
Yeah, diba? So, thank you, Nike, for the time, and really, truly do appreciate it.
Thank you
So,
then. I really like the questions, and I hope siguro invite mo ulit ako. I really like on how we discuss things then.
yeah.